Buddy, today's episode comes in two parts. I want to show you a quick little preview of what I'm working on, what's keeping me busy. Then we'll go to our app of the week. App of one of two of the weeks, whatever. I like character mode, text mode, CLI applications. Yeah, I think I'm the only one left, but who cares? Because when you have an application that doesn't have to keep track of thousands of pixels, it speeds things up. Your application can really flash onto the screen. The other thing I like is basic. Again, I may be the only one left. That's fine. But that's where I got started and what I always keep coming back to. Okay, so I think I may have told you before that I have compiled an early version of Basic. And so I've now got a slightly more recent version. And I am writing libraries for that. Because I want to write something for Haiku in text mode, but I want to be able to throw up an alert. I want to access extended attributes. I want to, use the file panel. Because writing a file chooser in BASIC is not that easy. So I want the best of both worlds. Why not just use YAB? Because YAB is no longer compiled against ncurses. And if you make your own custom version, then it won't work with anybody else's version. So I wanted to go back to YaBasic, which is my favorite basic dialect, and then, dress it up so that it'll be more useful in Haiku. So I call that Basenji. If you don't know, a Basenji is a kind of dog from Africa. It's a very old breed of dog because they've seen pictures of it from ancient Egypt, something that looks very much like it. And the other interesting thing about Basenjis is they don't bark, ever. Now, the breed is so old that the ability to bark hadn't evolved in them yet. And since our file manager is called Tracker, and it's a dog, just look at the icon up there. So I said, let's keep up with the dog metaphor and just see how far we can push it. So I've made a little demo, which we can now go through, just to show a few things that it's capable of doing so far. Right? So what happened there is that I programmed Figlet to give me that scrolling marquee look. So I won't tell you exactly how it's done, but it's a little routine that I picked up from Quick Basic that rotates a string. And so I keep flashing the newly rotated string on top. And after that, I just put up some ASCII art, which I don't keep in a separate file. It's in the code itself. Next thing that's in the code is an actual graphic. I found a graphic to use, and then I used Java to put that up. There you go. You remember Java. Okay, so now what happens here is that I use dialog to display my Basenji help file. And there are the dogs again. And now we're showing a menu system. Okay, but Terminal is not the only game in town. We also have Console. And so I have to test my programs in Console as well. And you can see that Java works much better in Console than in Terminal. And that's me just going up and down in the help file. Look at the scroll bar moving there. And this is where I see a problem. Color management in Console is not exactly the same as in Terminal. For what it's worth, I think Terminal gets it right. But this is supposed to be black text on a white background, and it doesn't come out that way. So that's something I have to look into. And we're working on that menu again. It's one of several menu systems that I've got built into the libraries. And that's the end of the video. Okay, thank you for indulging me. Oh, this is nowhere near production ready. I'll probably spend another year on it. But you can see where I'm going with this. Okay, on to today's application. And this is called word clock. And it is an imprecise clock. It is now 5 minutes to 3. And if we sit around and wait for 5 minutes, well, 3 minutes to be precise, then it'll say it is 3 o'clock. I have no idea if this thing works in other languages, but the interesting thing is this is replicant enabled, so you can have a permanent reminder of the time, and it sort of works the way people's minds work. You know, the digital times that we are given these days, it is now 2:58 and 17 seconds. That's not how human beings work with time in their minds. We think 5 to 3, roughly. Good enough. And so I think that is a lovely little fuzzy clock. Okay, so that is it for today's episodes. And I forgot to say, being a replicant, this thing will now show up as at every time that I boot up the computer. It's part of the desktop. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.